SOFTR just killed half your make.com automations, and I'm not even saying that lightly. You can now automate basically everything you're needing inside of SOFTR without the need for Make, NAN, or Zapier and learning those new platforms. I'm going to show you what that actually means for your systems and how this is going to help you scale even further. Now, SOFTR just dropped their workflows that's going to allow you to actually run the automations directly inside the app and also implement the AI agents they've been releasing to do the exact same thing for you. If you've never heard of SOFTR, it's basically a no-code platform that allows you to actually use your data and turns it into something that you could use for clients or internal tools. There's multiple data sources that you can connect to it, and now with the introduction of workflows, it's got even more powerful. If you're wanting to try it out yourself for completely free for a month, use code Ellis at checkout and you're going to be able to try it yourself and see how good it really is. Again, massive thank you to SOFTR for collaborating with me on this video, as I can't wait to show off what I've been building. This was a previous automation that I ran inside of SOFTR itself, and this is directly in make.com. Now, with the new SOFTR workflows, this actually becomes obsolete. This workflow itself, this was from a previous video, but it was me essentially updating a record inside of SOFTR. This was inside of the client portal itself, where I've got Batman as one of my clients, which is awesome. And from here, where we're sending a message to our Slack, sending an email to our Gmail, and then sending an update to our Notion to actually say, hey, this client has actually signed. Now, we're going to build this directly inside of SOFTR with the new workflows. Now, when you come into SOFTR itself, you'll be able to see the workflows. You can start with some templates. There's some awesome templates that you can start with to actually try some things yourself with AI and bringing in the agents and stuff like that. Or we can start from scratch. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this exact automation that we now no longer need to use from .com directly inside of SOFTR. And it is so simple. You're going to follow along with me and you're going to be able to understand how easy this is to actually do. For new platforms, I always feel that they can be quite complicated when you're trying to learn them, especially automation platforms. So if you're someone that maybe doesn't want to spend that time doing it at this moment, you can use the app you're already comfortable with and that you already know. And with SOFTR's launch, they've actually done some incredible things right from the get-go, which means it's going to be even easier to connect all these things that you're wanting to do. Let's actually start from scratch and see this process in real time of kind of how we're doing this and how we're going to do this ourselves. Currently, we've got these triggers with Airtable, Gmail, where we can look for new rows that have been added, or we can use the SOFTR apps or databases that we've created, even run in weekly schedules, or even a webhook if you're wanting to bring those things in and we get to that more complicated side. What we're going to do today is we're actually going to use our SOFTR database with our client user here for the client portals to be able to basically see when clients have signed and when we've changed them to they've signed as a client. That's when we're going to get all this information that we're going to send to Slack, we're going to send to Gmail, and we're going to update databases inside of Notion. So what we're going to look for is when a record meets conditions. And you'll see now that we're coming onto the workflow page, and this is where you would do all of your things inside of the workflows themselves. Now, from this point, we're going to select the databases on the right-hand side of the client portals, and this is just merely asking you which table we want to be using for this particular database that we're doing. We're going to have the table itself, and what we're going to run from here is we're going to add the condition that where the stage is going to equal the signed. And that's going to allow us to only run this automation itself when a particular record meets the conditions. And we're going to test this just to see what it would look like as a whole. Now, what I really love about the workflows that they've got is on the right-hand side, we're kind of getting everything that we need when it comes to setting up even more complicated automations, multitudes of automations, and things that can talk to one another. Because as we go further forward and as we actually have the emails and things like that are going on, just like inside of the make.com, where you're actually searching for the names that have been triggered when you're finding these databases, we can do the exact same inside of these workflows because it's given us a lot of information. Now, from this point, that's when we're going to take it to that next step where we're actually going to be adding in the actions that can happen based off of that record being updated. So here we've got a ton of actions that we can already do. We've got the left-hand side of some of the apps that you can already connect for what's going on. And on the right, we can use things like AI to actually help us organize these things a little bit better, use our databases even further, or even build in branches or code if we're wanting to. Now, what we're going going to do to keep it really simple and straightforward is we're first going to send an email to our account and actually say what's going on. So I've just connected one of my business emails. We're going to send it to our business email, but what you can do is this is when you can start to implement your onboarding to that particular client. Because if you use the app feature, you can actually look for the record that's met those conditions and send the email directly to the client for what's going on. So this is when you start to think about onboarding emails and emails to your team that's the client success manager, and how you can make this all work really, really easily from your sales team to your onboarding team as you're actually scaling your company and as things become more complicated. So instead of having to, go through who the email is going to be sent to, you can directly do it when specific records have met those conditions. What we're going to do for this one is we're simply just going to send it to my email so that I can actually test it and trial it, and you can see what it looks like as well. What I'm also going to do for the subject is I'm going to just put the name of the person that we've just signed this as the subject, and inside of the body I'm just going to say that we've signed them and put a few of the fields that we had done previously from that record, just so that we can see what's going on. What we've done here is we've simply used the field name from the record, the email and the phone to then be sent in the email. And again, what we'll do here is we'll just continue this and we'll do a mock test. And inside these mock tests, you can just get a little bit of an example of sort of what's happening and what would go on and what these steps are going to be. It's just allowing you to make sure that as you're continuing on with the workflows, that it's easy to actually follow. What we're going to do from this point and just following along with our previous one is we're going to send a Slack message to our team. What I'm actually going to do to show you more of the capabilities of this and show you the sort of branches of what's going on is I'm going to add another select, and I'm going to call this the offer. Now inside of here, I'm going to name this offer 1, and I'm going to add another one which is called offer 2. And this is going to allow us to actually set those branches for what's going on and actually update these as we are moving forward. So what we're going to do from here is we're now going to branch this out. So we're sending the email to ourselves to basically say, hey, we've actually signed this client and that is all good. But now what we're going to do is we're going to set this to branches where the conditions are the record meets, and then we're going to look for the offer itself. And then inside of here, we're going to have it as offer 1 and offer 2. Now, what I love about this is going to give us the opportunity to basically have records be met, but for people with different offers, we are then going to be able to offer them different things or give us information based on the offers that they've been purchasing. This will be amazing for teams that are looking to build multitudes of offers and things that are going on, but keeping everything working together and in the same place. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to post a channel message directly into my Slack, and I'm going to have it in this area. I'm basically going to send a message to just say that we've signed this client on this offer and to follow the onboarding for offer 1. So we're going to post this message of we've just signed the client's name on this offer. Please make sure to follow the steps for this offer. Again, you can make this way more complicated than you want, but I am just going to do this as an example. We're just going to run the test to see that we've made sure that it's worked. And we're going to do the exact same as well on here, where we're going to select that data source, select the item for the client onboard. And again, we've followed the exact same message that we've got going on. We'll run that mock test to make sure that everything's happening. What I want to just kind of show is the ability to set these into branches and have things actually happen, or even having bulk actions if you're wanting things to loop as well from previous steps and seeing what you're wanting to do with that. There really is a lot already that is inside of these workflows that will kind of eliminate your need for other automations that you're running outside of the platform. What we're going to do at this next point is we're actually going to be testing a little bit about the AI side of things and using the SOFTR AI that we've currently got. Now, I've went ahead and created a sort of offer table inside of the user's client portal itself, and we've added in the ability to see 2 different types of offers that we are going to be offering to clients that we have available. And inside of the actual databases themselves, we've looked at what type of business that these people are actually in and the offer that they are a part of. What we're going to look to do is from offer 1, we're going to come into the SOFTR AI and we're going to let the AI generate text based on my instructions. From here, you can choose different types of models that you're wanting to run for this, but we're going to have the O3 Mini going for the beginning. What we're going to ask this to do is basically to look at the table 9 where we have the offers in place and what we're currently offering. We're going to then look at what type of offer they're actually taking at the moment and what type of business that they're in. And based on our offering that we've got, how do we actually lay out a step-by-step that we should be running through with those clients based on the offer and the industry that they're in. So first, let's actually come back to the actions and find a record in a particular database. So we're going to choose the client portal again, and we're going to go to table 9. And this is obviously where we're going to be finding that record that matches the record that we've got from the previous one. So we're finding this one where the name is offer 1. We're going to find that record, we're going to test it, and we've now found that record for offer 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set some instructions for what we actually want to do. So what I've done here is I've just created this AI block to, based on the type of person and the industry that they're in, can you lay out a step-by-step process we should follow uniquely for that type of person? And we're going to use the description from the actual offers that we have to come up with an offer specific to them and questions that we should be asking based on the industry that they are in. So we're going to continue this and we're going to run this test to kind of see what's going on with it. Obviously, this will take a little bit longer just because it's now going to be using the record and it's now going to be using the actual AI stuff to provide us with the information we're looking for. We have the actual result of what's going on, but we're actually going to test this more when we're actually doing it so I can show you what it looks like as we're genuinely going through the process. Final thing that I'm actually going to do with this before we test it is I'm actually just going to add a field in here and I'm going to have the long text of onboarding steps, just so that we can actually see the AI automation itself actually work and updating those records. So what we're going to do is we're going to update the record. We're then going to look for the client portal. We're then going to look for the users. And we're obviously going to select the record ID from the previous step. We've got the record ID here. And then inside of the fields, we're going to look for the onboarding steps. And inside of the onboarding steps, we're then going to have the result from what we've got going on. So we'll continue with that. And we'll also do the same for the other area so that we've got that too, where we're updating the record. So we're looking for the ID. And then inside of here, we're looking for the result for 10. So we're looking here and the result for 10. Again, both of these haven't actually been done, but we're going to publish them because we know that we're actually able to do them and we're actually able to see what's going on. So now we are going to be able to see the runs on the left-hand side. I am testing this for the first time too, so I will show you exactly what's going on and exactly how it goes. Let me just open up my other platforms so that you can kind of see everything. All right, we've opened everything up. So we're now going to go to this particular area and we're actually going to be signing Batman. So this is the stage where we're going to be hitting signed. And we're going to be seeing the automation run. So now what you'll see is we've just signed Batman on offer 2. Make sure to follow the steps on the offer. We've also just got the example from myself of we've just signed Batman. We've signed them. Here's the email and here's the number, which has been taken directly from SOFTR itself. And also, if we come back to SOFTR, we should now see the onboarding steps of what we've got going on for this particular person. So below are the step-by-step process, specifically tailored for a client who, like our Batman meets gardening persona, demands both high-tech precision and nurturing organic growth. And then it goes through the whole process of all the steps that I'm wanting to take, which again, for how quickly that ran and how quickly that was able to process, I'm pretty happy on how that ran through it and the runs that it was able to do. So we can now see everything of the run and how it all went to actually view what's going on and what we've got from this testing. Now, one of the other awesome things that you can do inside of your actual portals that you built out for your clients is you can get them to see the workflows running themselves and see how they've been going. So if we look out the outstanding tasks and we click on the buttons, we could add another item button where we're running a custom workflow. When you're building this custom workflow, you can actually select it to do something and even showing a wait screen where it's telling you the headings, please to wait, and it's still working and everything that's going on for that. And then it's going to end the user interaction. So if I actually publish this and we are able to show it off, I'll show you exactly what it looks like when we're doing so. So we'll publish this to the web and we'll be able to do that here. And we'll preview this page. When we're now in this page, I'm going to be able to select the run area here. It's then going to say just a moment while we're completing it, and now the workflow has been complete. So if there's specific designs that you're wanting to run through, when it comes to some more of your workflows and when it comes to the workflows that you're actually creating, this is such a fantastic way of then being able to showcase to your clients and to the people that you're working with that we're running through this process, the workflows in that space, and here's what's sort of happening as we're going through. Inside of that wait screen, you also have the ability to test it and actually see what it's like. And you're also able to share sort of what the user interaction is and how things are working, which I really like because again, at the end of the day, if you're getting clients to actually interact with your portals and you're getting clients to be logging onto here and actually seeing what's going on, this is such a great way of just showing to them, hey, it's working, it's not, there's maybe some errors, there's things that are going on. And that's something that I really love to see when we're talking about something like this. SOFTR have been improving at a tremendous rate, I can't lie. And me actually using this and seeing everything that's going on, I'm so excited for what they've got to come in the future, because they continue to release things that are genuinely going to make the benefit for the user as well as the person building in the back end without overcomplicating everything. Even for someone that maybe doesn't know everything that's going on inside of automations and how they all work, could follow along with this and actually understand it to a really good degree. Again, if you're wanting to try out SOFTR yourself, use code Ellis on the professional plan. You're going to get a month for free to actually test all these things and see how you get on with it. It has been a lot of fun to see the developments that they are making. I'll put another video on the screen from SOFTR stuff that I've done in the past for you to watch to take your skills to another level with it, and I will see you there.